Right, good afternoon, everyone. Today, wait a minute, let's go back a bit. Today, there is no noise in the market. That's why when you look at gold today, gold is ranging, is playing around. So I chose to stay away from gold. Most of the pairs, they are really playing around. And one of the reasons why I wasn't active, I'm not active in the market today. Let me explain. Today there is nothing, so we expected less noise in the market. Maybe some traders would expect the market to be doing well. But there is something that is going to happen tomorrow that made me to stay away from the market. And not tomorrow in the evening, no. Actually at 3 a.m. Let's go to Wednesday. So on Wednesday, remember, if you have been watching my analysis and all that, you know very well that number one, that I have been giving analysis on Australian dollar, Australian economy, gold, and the US economy mostly. And we are going to be getting into also the British pound, the euro. But for now, let's look at AUD at 3:30 a.m. You can say tomorrow, you can say late in the night, any. What I know, most of us will be sleeping. AUD is having CPI. CPI, this is a very important data. This is very important. So we have CPI on AUD. Then at 5 a.m. in the morning, we have a speech from the president. President Trump is going to say something. He's going to speak. So you cannot, many investors are looking at, should I enter the market? They are not making a decision. Why? Because they don't know what Trump is going to say. Number one, there is an escalation of a war with Iran. So they don't know what he's going to say. Is it he going to escalate or de-escalate? Number two, the Supreme Court in the US had called Trump's tariffs. Remember, Trump had imposed tariffs last year. He imposed the 10% tariff on every country, even all African countries. So the Supreme Court in the US had declared that illegal. But Trump immediately came out. He didn't back down. He simply said, you know what? I'm the president of USA. I have the powers. So instead, he increased all tariffs on every nation to 15% and warned that other countries should not take advantage of this Supreme Court, what he called nonsense. They should make sure they strike a deal with the US. So the initial 10% is now 15%. It is actually higher. So many people all over the world, people into the finance, institutions, even traders all over the world, they don't know what Trump is going to say about the war with Iran, if they are going all in, or if they are backing down, or if there is a deal. If there is a deal, that is a de-escalation, meaning the fear is cooling down now. When the fear cools down, it means the stock market is going to move well. It means gold is going to sell. But if he escalates the situation, he says we are attacking, we are doing all this, it means gold is going to pump. Gold is going to buy like crazy. Why? Because gold normally goes up in escalation times. When there's tension, political tension. Gold is a safe haven. So whenever there is fear, like when someone shoots, you hear just bullets, you run to hide in your house. You run to hide. When investors, traders, banks, institutions face the same fear, they don't run to hide in the house first. They move their money to where they expect things to be safe. And one of them is gold. Number two is the dollar and the CHF, but mostly gold and the dollar. So if he escalates the tension, It means gold is going to buy like crazy, continue buying. It's already buying, but just that today it was ranging a little bit. Then the stock market, remember, the stock market is going to breed. It's going to go down. Most cases, when gold is going up, stock market is going down. When the stock market is going up, gold is going down. That's how things play out. But now let's focus on Australia. Australia has consumer price index. I'll repeat it again. But before, if you're watching this from my YouTube, kindly subscribe. You can always drop a comment. You can like the video. This indicates or sends a signal to the algorithm of YouTube to push the video to more people. That's the least thing you can always do. So subscribe. You can even turn on notification. You can like the video. You can always drop comments. And those who want to learn how to analyze these things professional and profitable, you can always reach out to me. The number is in my bio. WhatsApp number. You reach out to me. You can enroll. So you have consumer price index in Australia. Remember, all this time I've been saying the Australian economy is creating more jobs. There is a lot of inflation in Australia. Remember, inflation, it means people have more money to spend on goods and services. You get my point? So if people have more money to spend on goods and services, that creates inflation. And that attracts the central bank to cut the rates. When the central bank cuts the rates, I'll go into that as well. But right now, these guys are having inflation in Australia, the economy creating more jobs, and the gold, the skyrocketing of gold is a benefit in Australia. Why? They are one of the major exporters of gold, and gold is increasing its value. So it means they get more dollars back home, meaning the Australian dollar is strong, honestly, is strong. So tomorrow we have CPI. Previously, we are looking at monthly CPI, meaning for January, for last month. Previously it was 1% CPI, meaning how much money or the percentage of money people spend on goods and services. But this month, these guys are expecting actually more inflation. They're expecting prices of goods and services to increase. So it means if they increase, the prices of goods and services increase, it's inflation. People are spending more money in the country. Now, if data comes out and the actual is less than the forecast, Australian dollar is going to be weak. If the data comes out and the forecast is greater than, the actual is greater than forecast, meaning 0.3, 0.45 and above. Even if it is 0.25, it is higher than 0.2. It means we are going to see Australian dollar being strong again. So if this data comes out and you pair Australian dollar with another weaker currency like NZD, it means Australian dollar is going to buy. Meaning we are going to buy AUD NZD. Because in that pair, the Australian dollar is going to be much stronger. If even GBP AUD, it means GBP AUD is going to sell if data comes out higher. But if it comes out lower, AUD NZD might sell a little. Not so much, a little. GBP and AUD might buy. So when I say might, don't doubt. This is just language is important, as I normally say. I'll not say it must, because I'm not the only one in the market. But the data I'm giving to you, these things have been happening as I say them, or as I call out. Then we have CPI, Y stock Y, which means for a year. So these guys are looking, remember this data we are receiving is for January last month. So CPI for a year, meaning they are looking at the CPI data of last year, January, 2025 in January. And they are comparing it with the CPI of 2026 January. So previously, meaning last year in January, it was 3.8%. These analysts are expecting it to go a little bit lower. If it comes out and it is less than the forecast, this is what happens. You know, whenever this data comes out, the market moves up and down quickly. But later on, it finds a trend, it finds a direction. So if this data comes out greater than the higher forecast, so the forecast, which means maybe 3.8, 3.9, 4, even up to 5 there, it means generally after the noise, the Australian dollar is going to be buying. So meaning this data for CPI data for a year, it is the one that determines the trend. It is the longer trend, the longer picture. So meaning this is how people mostly make money from these assets. The noise is done, then the CPI is greater than forecast on a year, it means the market is buying. If it comes out lower, it means the market is going to be going down. As simple as that. So that is Australia. I've covered Australia right now. The issue of a dollar, let's wait at 5 a.m. and see. I might make a second video specifically making it for the US. Thank you. If you have any questions, you can always drop in the comment section. If you appreciate, and you can always drop. If you have something to complain, you can always do anything. Use the comment section. It will push the video to more people who are trading blind and losing money. Thank you. See you again.